Let's talk about what do we do, because what you're describing really seems like this blame game, a game of hot potato. We're
Correct.
seeing we're seeing Mayor Eric Adams blame Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York. We're seeing Governor Hochul criticize the Biden administration. We're seeing the Biden administration place the blame on Congress, and we're seeing Republicans and Democrats in Congress really at an impasse on this issue. They're saying, yes, there is a problem at the border. We can't come to an agreement on how to solve it. So first, where do you think the blame lies here? And second, how do we fix this at a federal level?
How do we fix this at a federal level? Vote differently in 24, because then you'll have a wall with a door in it on it so that people could come in the right way. When I speak to, College Point is made up of a great deal of minorities, okay? They came here the right way. I spoke to one woman from Ecuador and another person from Colombia. They came here the right way, and they are waiting for their sisters, aunts, and uncles to come here. 5 years they're waiting to come in the right way. I told them, fly to Mexico. Tell your family to fly to Mexico and walk across the border. You'll have them at your dinner table by Sunday. Now that sounds pretty awful, doesn't it? But that's a fact. There is absolutely no way this is changing unless leadership changes at every level. Joaquin Jeffries is the minority leader. He lives in Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn. Why aren't we hearing more out of Joaquin? Why isn't he saying, enough, this is my city, I love it? Why isn't he taking his voice into Congress and saying what needs to be said? Why isn't he doing that? Why? Why? We have a breakdown here. The breakdown is ending up to be a Democrat and a Republican issue. That's what it's all about right now. Because when you've got I'm only one of two Republicans here in the borough of Queens. It's me, Vickie Paladino, Councilwoman for District 19, and it's Joanne Ariola on the south side of Queens in District 32. Two Republicans, that's all we have here. So in the entire borough of 2.3 million people. So we don't have a voice that would carry. Okay, so Hakeem Jeffries really should step up to the plate a little bit too, give support to the mayor that he needs to really stop this. It's not going to stop. Everybody, there's no end game. This is not going to end.
So you're saying the only solution that you see, the end game here, would be different leadership top down, and you're talking about changing the party from Democrat to Republican leadership.
Correct. Because if Lee Zeldin was sitting in the governor's chair right now, or Andrew Giuliani, who ran for governor, if one of those two men would have won with Allison Esposito as the lieutenant governor, if we would have seen change in government once again at the head, this would not be happening in New York State. It would be over. It would be done.
As you know, New York City is a sanctuary city. New York State is a sanctuary state. So I'm wondering, what do you think the limiting principle of sanctuary policy should be?
Well, first of all, it goes on. Executive power goes on for way too long. That's the first thing. Sanctuary City, when it was started back in the 80s, was started in a very pure form. And, I was never in favor of Sanctuary City at all, but I kind of got it. I kind of understood it. But nobody thought, and it was intended for New Yorkers. It was intended with people with a substantial amount of time as residents, okay? And we don't have that now. Our mayor, if he brought that to the city council right now to have our sanctuary city status turned over, the city council I exist in would never okay it. Now the governor, she has executive power. She can execute the power of the pen. We've all heard that expression, power of the pen. She could stop this. The other thing the governor has done, which she has declared a state of emergency back in May. The difference here is that when you file for a state of emergency, what happens is the president of the United States has got to recognize the state the state's state of emergency. New York State state of emergency needed to be recognized by the Biden administration in order for us, here we go again, to get money. To get money. That's it. Not to stop it, but to get more money. But the Biden administration has not recognized that either. So it's failure all the way around.